What's going on YouTube? This is Mason AJ with the Aficionados, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say right now, I want to apologize for not getting last week's videos out. We suffered some technical difficulties here at within the Aficionados. We just couldn't just computer problems. We had to call IT and everything else. So for this week, you're getting 2 for the price of 1, and for the shows that we missed, which I believe probably like Flash and iZombie, maybe like a couple others. So we're gonna release both episodes on the same day as we release this week's episodes. So feel free to go back and watch and enjoy those and hear our thoughts on those. And also feel free to check out our newest video that we just put out, which was Fallout versus The Walking Dead, where it was me and IBM, and we pretty much set up a scenario where we argued which nerd world we wanted to live in the most. And we also wanted to see what other people had to say. But focusing on our reaction review of this week's episode of Gotham, I gotta say, this week's episode is in fact probably the most violent episode of Gotham today. And Gotham has always been kind of like a violent, gritty show, especially compared to Flash and even a little bit more so, to Arrow and everything else. So over-the-top violence isn't a thing, but this is the first time first time really since that DC massacre, I say DC, but see that Gotham City Police Department massacre at the beginning of the season, I'm looking like, damn man, things are getting really, really bloody. We've introduced Endeagle Fandango, also known as the DC's face-eating, flesh-eating villain, Fandango, or Fantango. It's one or the other. I might be mispronouncing it. If you guys know me, watch the show, I'm not really that good with names. I'm sorry. And I was really excited for this week's episode because finally, my man Jim Gordon is coming through. He has figured out about Galavan, and he's put him behind bars. And it felt like after a couple of episodes of just things being stale and kind of on a status quo, that things were finally going to be pushed forward. And I realized that the previous episodes were set up, but now setup is done. It's time to really get going with really kind of kick this thing into third gear. But all the episode was actually in fact pretty good. I gotta say that the Bruce Alfred stuff didn't go nowhere. I fully expected. Focusing on Bruce a little bit, I fully expected them. I was really hoping last episode that they would almost kind of villainize Batman. I'm gonna quote IBM for a second because it would have been so much more awesome if when Galavan threatened Bruce, that you saw how Bruce kind of got a little darker and he was no, you're gonna tell me, not necessarily get up and straight gun, but where are they? Who's my parents' killer? Not necessarily do all that, but at least I have seen how him using the skills and the resources, even just into intuition that he's gathered so far, how it can easily take a dark turn. But now with this, Galavan's sister has put a hit out on Jim. Side note on that one, I kind of felt like as writers, I would have appreciated, and this is just a pure on Masonism, I would have appreciated if the hit wasn't on Jim, and this is just the inner storyteller in me, because it felt so by the numbers and blasé. I'm like, what if, hear me out now, what if instead of putting the hit out on Jim, she put the hit out on, Harvey, not Harvey, but Bullock, or even the doctor. And her whole thing was, right now I'm hurt, I'm not full power, but when I am full power, I'm gonna kill Jim, but I want Jim to suffer the same way that I suffered. So I want him to do someone close to him. And if we had seen in the beginning with, first of all, double side note, the actress who portrayed the lady character, the British, was actually, I didn't know this while I was watching the episode, is actually a stable character in Doctor Who. I'm not so much of a Doctor Who fan myself, but for all you Whovians out there, that was a nice little tidbit to see her in action. Also, I'm just gonna say, British people in general for me can just get it. I mean, I just love hearing them talk. That's just me though. But if Galavan's sister had handed her, and we as the audience didn't see who that was, but the whole episode was who the hitman coming after? They're coming after the doctor, they're coming after Bullet, and then we maybe in fact end up being both of them or one of them ends up getting hurt, more likely the doctor or so, or even like that. And then you saw how the hit was for that other person or so then it just wasn't over. I would appreciate that, but focusing on what actually did happen and not just Mason, not just full on Masonism. Now skipping a little bit to the end, because this scene really kind of just pissed me the off, like real talk. And I'm sorry for skipping to this person, but I have to just say that I gotta get this off my chest. Okay, so that security, that end at the scene at the very end where the brothers show up and you see the one security guard, like that. First of all, that scene is such a lie. Okay, if I work for Walden Security or Outlet Bar and I see a whole bunch of Assassin's Creed dudes that sit staying on the corner, I'm not gonna run to them and be like, hey, let me see your ID. Like, I'm gonna be like, you know what? It's time for my break. I was literally seeing them in the corner, but it's time for my break anyway. Grab my bag, my wallet, and my lunch, and be like, you know what? I don't need this job today, and just walk off. Like, what were you fully expecting to do, security guard? And just to get a little bit racist on it, I'm gonna tell you, yo, this is that one scene that all black people have always talked about, where your black sense should have been tingling. Okay, 8 dudes, technically 9 dudes if you want to include Father Krill. 9 dudes, one of me, in the dark. This is Gotham. Time to get the hell on out. I'm just saying, that's just me. And also, I felt like that scene was so like blasé, for lack of a better term, because you know what? I understand that Gotham might not have the budget of Flash and Arrow and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and everything else, but for this, them to be like, oh, we're gonna take out these little bitty knives, just go shake, 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 shake. We're gonna go off screen, shake, 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 shake. You know what would have been cool was if Father Creed had put the hood on and then one of them whipped out like a sword, like a full sword, Assassin's Creed style. Like you're like, whoa, where the hell did that sword come? And then stab that, and then stab that dude. And you see how like obviously one of the brothers has like a sword for an arm, or has like, you know, or at least like a hidden blade sword or something of the sort. Give me a little bit more excitement. I was not threatened for this to be like the brothers, great warriors of renown that we've established in the previous. I feel like at the end of the day, if you were to drop Mason inside the world and fight against the brothers, and all I had was a piece of C4 and a shotgun, I could actually body those, you know, those brothers. You know, I'm just saying. This episode was still very good. I really enjoyed watching the Enigma, well, pretty much the Edward and Penguin dynamic duo. I wasn't really sure about how those actors would flow together since they have so completely different styles. And you know, at first, admittedly, it felt a little bit forced, but no, they actually bring it up, and I can actually see them becoming, you know, like a legitimately scary, you know, criminal duo. And I'm looking like, okay, I actually am very interested to see where that dynamic goes. And I appreciate that Riddler, or you know, Enigma, how you want to call it, like that. I appreciate the fact that he helped Penguin like through his pain of losing his mom. He was looking like, yo, dude, you need to take this and be stronger for it, which was terrifying because I felt like it made both Riddler and Penguin that much more dangerous criminals, but also I felt like a friendship and a bond was formed. Like, oh, here you guys, he's just 2 lonely birds, you know, no pun intended, and now you guys gonna fly together and flock together, and y'all gonna do your whole thing. And the next thing, the only thing you really need at this point is for them to break into Arkham all over again and let loose Firefly and let loose Barbara and maybe like one other dude, and then you know, we have a whole supervillain jamboree. Last but not least, I want to speak on the fact that I really want, as always, I've appreciated Captain Barnes. I still secretly believe that Captain Barnes is actually just a supervillain or secretly working for Galavan. This is all part of Galavan's grand plan. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I feel like he's gonna end up being a bad guy, but still watching him interact with Jim and helping him work through his problems is still very entertaining for me. Speaking of Jim, is him and Doctor gonna break up? I mean, it seems like with the way they're setting things up that they're eventually going to break up, and I don't want to see that because they're actually one of my favorite, you know, relationship couples as far as all the nerd shows like iZombie, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Flash, etc., etc. But like, still, every time I see them together, I feel like it's strained. Like the writers are kind of like slipping in like this little bit of strain. I'm looking like, I don't know. But you know what else? Comment down below. Let me know what you think about this week's episode of Gotham. Like I said, a bitter pill to swallow. It was not. I actually really enjoyed this week's episode, especially after the events of last week's episode. Thank you so much for watching. Also, make sure you hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for other future elements of the show. We know here at the Aficionados, we're going to be bringing you a bunch of new content, not just reaction reviews, and also you can't forget, coming up later on this week is Jessica Jones. I'm going to be doing reaction reviews to each and every single episode of Jessica Jones. I'm going to be grinding out because I want to talk about all that. But let me know what your thoughts is on this episode. What was your favorite part? I'm just going to say this right now. Why all the black people got to die? I'm just saying, like, I felt like the death of Officer Percy or Purdy or Perky or whatever, I thought that death was really just unnecessary. I mean, even if you kept like the black guy getting killed at the end, I would have accepted that as a hard pill to swallow, no pun intended, like that. But I felt like that death was it just didn't need to happen. And I'm looking like, oh geez, after surviving all of this, she gets killed out this way. Like, this is how she goes out, and she was like such a pretty, nice, like upstanding person. You know what? Last but not least, I kind of feel like, and maybe they're gonna bring this up at the end of the season, I kind of feel like the Gotham PD should force Jim to quit or retire. Like all the cops should, like over the course of these events, all the cops should like, look, Jim, if you really look at it, you're always rocking the boat, and all the other officers are getting killed, you know, and things are always somehow centered on you. And while at first we want to rally and be behind you, like, dude, we got like lives and stuff. Like, you know, with cops, more cops have died under Jim Gordon's watch than any other like time in Gotham. And to see how the other officers bring that up, and Jim might be forced to like make a hard decision whether he quits for the betterment of the police force to a certain degree, or whether he tries to stay on and try to muscle that, especially with Barnes right now being wounded. Maybe Barnes won't be there to act as a buffer, but that's all I'm saying. This is Mason AJ with the Aficionados, and I just got done watching Gotham.
I'm not saying these things.
Hashtag go.
Hashtag nothing. Block that hashtag. Whip that up. No, don't hashtag that.
Okay.
Don't hashtag that.
No. Well, wait, before you
Don't
go
be hashtag.
before you go into